to our regular session, which is scheduled for 7, so just a little tardy. But if you would please stand with me and recite the Pledge of Allegiance, we'll get started. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sounds like success. Sounds like success.
Sounds like champions.
Okay, so now that we've reconvened into a regular session, we need to approve some minutes. So I will accept a motion to approve minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Any conversation? Seeing none. Cynthia, please call the roll.
Yes, Mr. Orr,
Yes.
Mr. Gavin,
Yes.
Mrs. Batchy,
Yes.
Mrs. Timmons.
Yes.
All right, and so we will move immediately to superintendent's presentations. Item number 5.
All right. So thank you, everybody, for being here. It is so great to have a full Harvard room here of friends and family and champions. And I think I have my favorite, one of my favorite Mason moments will be hearing the ching of the medals that all of our kids are wearing as we stand up and down. That's a great sound. But tonight we have 3 presentations. The first is each month, if you've not been a part of our board meetings, and you can find these on our YouTube channel, we have something called the Mason Momentum Wayfinding Video. And the Wayfinding Video is dedicated to just sharing our story. It's a big district and there's lots of great opportunities, but we want people to feel connected. And so we try to dive in and share a story that tells a little bit of who we are in the experience here. Tracy, you want to take it away?
Sure. Last Friday, we celebrated the 20th anniversary of the Mason Intermediate School Black History Bowl, a tradition that has inspired generations of 5th graders to learn, to lead, and to understand that Black history is American history. 20 years ago, as our district was growing in enrollment and diversity, leaders like Principal Kathy Hunter, teacher Cynthia Handy, Diversity Council member and her husband, Cromwell Handy, planted seeds of learning, celebration, and belonging. What began as a dream to make Black history come alive has become a defining part of our culture. Over the years, educators like Nick Washington carried that vision forward, alongside teachers like Jocelyn Burlew, Kim Rader, Henna Ahmad, and Andrea Kastner. Together, they have strengthened this MI Strong peak moment, ensuring every new generation of students feels challenged, represented, and inspired, seeing both windows into other stories and mirrors of their own. As we celebrate this milestone, we also look ahead. Later this evening, you will vote to approve hiring Deanna Todd as Mason Intermediate's principal. She is the first Black woman to serve in this role, 19 years after beginning her journey in Mason as a teacher in the very building where this legacy was taking root.
We are so excited here at Mason Intermediate to be celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Black History Bowl. 2 decades of celebrating the rich history, all the achievements of Black history. And we have to remember that's American history. It has been a peak moment now for 20 years for our 5th graders coming through Mason Intermediate.
20 years ago, Kathy Hunter was the principal. And it was her idea, along with some other administrators, staff members, that wanted to see Mason begin to embrace Black history, want the children to learn Black history. So she actually just kind of had us come together, Mr. Washington and a few more teachers, to talk about it. And I had this whole idea, this dream, I'll say, that's how I think about this dream of doing something for Black history in a fun and exciting way. So that's really where it all began.
She was the I hate to say it like this, it's kind of funny. I guess it's good to say. The brains behind putting it together, I was the production.
We just wanted to make it fun.
Make it fun. The video, the big screen that we had, the boom box.
Black history is American history. And so for so long, there's nothing in the history books that show how Black history, if it was not for so many of our courageous African Americans, we helped build this country, and it wasn't in the books. This is an environment at Mason that teaches kids, inspires kids to want to learn. And so the Black History Bowl, it was inspiring, it was even challenging, and the kids in Mason love a challenge too.
It's about like honoring what people did for us that like changed our world today. It's been like really hard, but also like exciting because I got to meet all these new people that I never knew.
It's just an honor to be here, you know, to be thought that you all remember who started it, where it came from. That's an honor to me. And I just appreciate the fact that after 20 years, you all would call us back to come and witness this 20-year experience.
We would just like to commend you for continuing to move forward in it. Keep doing what you're doing. Somebody will greatly benefit from the things that you're doing here. And again, in the environment we have now, keep it up, keep going.
Yes.
And again, we are honored to be back here.
We are.
To be remembered for being a part of educating, making it enjoyable, making it exciting, and encouraging others to learn more about the people who live around them every day.
Thank you. So thank you, Tracy and crew, for putting that together. Also, special thanks to MI for hosting, Nick Washington for organizing. Does an amazing job. He does so much to make that come alive. And then Cynthia Handy, what a great story. Thank you for sharing that with us. You can find more of our Mason moments on our YouTube channel. Please check those out. Share those with friends. We'd love to continue to share our story. Our next presentation tonight is a special group. This is a group that can move like no one moves. This is a group that is national champion. You probably heard them when they stand up. Their gold medals make all kinds of fun noises. This is the national champions. I would like to invite our coaches up. Let's give them a hand. We're so impressed. Please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your role, the time you've been with us, and then we'll get our captains up to share a little bit of the inside of the story.
Great. My name's Christina Hutter, and I've been the head coach of the dance team since 2016, so 10 years, and actually I'm retiring this year. So,
congratulations.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Holly Phelps, and I have been assistant coach since 2020.
Hi, I'm Morgan Elam. I have also been assistant coach since 2020.
That's great. Well, thank you.
We do have a copy of the video performance. Would you like me to play that, and then you can tell the board a little bit about what we get to witness?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
That'd be great.
Come on. Hey, you know what? When I take it to the floor. Pump it up. You came to get it crump with a dame and get it crump. You came to get it on. 45 O's in the bank to get it on. Ain't to fit it on. Came to get it on. She wanna work that, twerk that. No, then again, let me work that. Work that, twerk. Twerk that. see some ladies chillin'. I see that girlie I've been plotting it years. She can hop it, he can pump it up. Okay. Take it to the floor. Let's go. You want it. You must first begin to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Drop, breathe out, drop. Now you must learn to calm out. Look, let's go. What you won't get ready, 'cause it's what you gon' get. Drop. We can take it to the window, to the wall. Move that thing, mommy, move my thing. I mean, do your thing, let me do. Move that thing, mommy, move that thing, mommy. Is everybody ready? Look, pump it up. Just pump it up. Look, like, take it to the floor.
Was Mason High School from Mason, Ohio.
That probably brings back some emotions right there. That was a great moment. Tell us about it.
Okay, so winning was it was honestly such a surreal experience. We worked so hard this season. We put in so much effort into the dance. We had such long practices, early morning practices, long choreography hours. And so winning and being recognized for that moment was honestly such a great experience. And I'm so proud of our team for just all the hard work that we put in this season.
I feel like our coaches have put out this image of getting the white jackets as it was a fantasy, a dream that was so hard to accomplish, and just knowing that we did this, it's just crazy. And the teams we go up against, I mean, there's a team that's been undefeated for years. All they do is dance. It's they're every day they do dance, so it's I don't know, it's so special.
That's great.
All right, I'll go. What a treat for me to get to be here tonight, because I'm a dance mom. And so I get this sport so much. And I was having trouble being professional up here watching you guys get down, because that was amazing. I've gotten to watch some of you grow up through dance and learn this sport and this art, and just see you now and how far you've come, and knowing all of you kind of had that same journey. Girls, what magic sauce made this the year that we made national, or that we made the national championship? What's the thing that made it click?
I think this year, obviously we've always known that it's so important to really be bonded as a team, but I feel this year we thought about how more important it is to really rely on our teammates. We had some people get sick right before nationals, and we also had a couple people get injured throughout the season. So there were definitely some challenges that we went through, but I feel ultimately it made us stronger, because we learned how important it is to rely on each other, because obviously we're all a team, and when we go out there, we all just have to work together because we have the same goal at the end. So, yeah.
Excellent. Anything to add, Mickey?
I'd say something that really pushed us through the final performances is our team kind of motto, which is ABC. It stands for Always Be Closing, and we just wanted to make sure when we went out there, we weren't just going through the movements, we were finishing them, and closing them.
Well, I think you all are fantastic, and I could watch that dance probably 20 more times. It was phenomenal, so congratulations.
Thank you.
It's really good.
I just have a couple questions, because it's a sport that I'm not real familiar with. So can you kind of walk me through the competition? How many times did you perform? I assume it was different dances every time, and how exhausting is that? Is it over the course of days or in a day?
I mean, as soon as we get down there, which we get down there on Thursday, we practice before every meal, after every meal. Really.
You're not eating pizza, right? You're not
No,
eating pizza and
we
dancing.
do eat Olive Garden on the first day. But for game day, it's semifinals, then prelims, semifinals, and then finals. And then for hip hop, it's semifinals and then finals. So on the first day, we performed for prelims in game day and semifinals in hip hop. And then the second day we did semis and finals, if that makes sense. Yeah, and then the last day was finals.
So was it 3 days total of
Yeah.
competition?
Yeah.
Were you sore? I mean, by the end of the weekend?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. It's definitely like super tiring, but it's something that's just so rewarding because obviously we had a great outcome, but it's really like such a great experience.
It was beautiful. I am with Danny. That is just, I had chills. Like, you guys are amazing. So good.
So I have a couple questions. One is, if you were watching, there was this row, this front row, and you saw these silhouettes of arms and heads pumping and stuff. Show a hand. Who was that we were seeing down there? I figured it was a coach, but yeah. Well, that was fun. I just got done, watching the Winter Olympics, and one of the stories that came out of the Winter Olympics was Alyssa Liu, who won the gold medal in figure skating. And one of the quotes that she had was that she didn't really feel like she needed a medal coming to the Olympics. She just wanted a platform to express her creativity. And that's hard for me to relate to, because most of the sports I've ever competed in, it's like, I'm not out here trying to express my creativity. I'm trying to win. But I feel like when I watch that performance and I watch you all and I see, the joy, and you guys have been at our board meetings before, I'm just curious if, obviously the white jackets and the gold medals are the gold, but what would you say is kind of the best part of this journey for you all, and the takeaway that you would have from this season?
I think so obviously like winning is like a goal that we obviously want to achieve, but I think like one of the biggest things that we learned from this is how important it is to rely on our teammates, but it's like all the relationships that we make. Like some of my best friends, like I've made so many friends on this team, so ultimately like that's what I'm so grateful for. And so obviously winning is such a big accomplishment, but the friendships that we make are something that's also super valuable. And when we go into the season, like in the beginning of the year, our goal, like we write goals on the whiteboard in the dance room, and our goal is never like be national champions. Like obviously that's great, but our goal this year, I think we wrote like top 10 in both hip hop and game day. So basically you get top 10 if you make it to finals, which even becoming 10th in the country is such a big accomplishment. So when we found out that we were just like a couple going into finals, you can see your scores from like the previous round. So going into finals, we were like 0.2 ahead of the other team, which was just surreal. And so I feel like at that point we realized like how much our relationships and our team unity mattered, and it was super valuable to be able to become national champions when really all we wanted was to make it to finals. Wow. If that makes sense.
Well, that's awesome, and I feel like honestly it's one of those things, watching you guys, you just had such energy, enthusiasm, you were so in sync with one another in all of those complicated moves, and I did get to see some of the behind the scenes with the social media posts and stuff like that, and it's clear you all just have like a great team chemistry, and I think that your coaches and your families did an amazing job of whatever the priorities and the main focus was for you guys, that the success that you've all been recognized with is just a byproduct of all of that. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So I'm not a dance mom, obviously, but I am a dance husband, and so shout out to all the moms and dads who have heard pump it up like 1,000 times. I'm sure you go to sleep and you wake up, you're like, oh. As they put together the parts of the dance, my wife is danced her whole life and now is a dance fitness instructor. But I look at the team roster, and if I count correctly, we only have 4 seniors on this team. So how do you guys run it back? That's always the question in these. I know it's we're here celebrating, but I like seeing the bling and the jackets and the noise. So how have you guys translated, how have the seniors translated the culture and team building down to the juniors and underclassmen so that we can keep this thing rolling.
I feel like we always try to lead by example, like trying to do the right thing. Obviously, like even if it's like a little like not what we want to do, if that makes sense. I don't know. But yeah, just trying to, we always want to be like good, what's it called? When you're like, yeah, role model. And also just like when we're in like those competition environments, like making sure we're smiling at other teammates. Like we're not trying to, we don't really care about competition, honestly. It's just like, we want to like put a good name out there for Mason and all that.
Amazing. It's amazing. You guys are wonderful ambassadors of our culture and what it means to have success and be a team and have comic culture. So we really appreciate you guys carrying that out to the country to show what we can do, because, you know, we're known for a lot of things and now we're dance national champs. So let's run it back next year. Congratulations, guys.
No pressure.
No
right?
pressure, no pressure.
Make it happen.
Hey, we're seniors, you know, we reload. We don't rebuild, we reload. That's what
We do more than just dance all the time, although that's plenty to stay busy.
It is. Especially, you know, dance practices can be long and arduous, so I'm sure you guys are all still wonderful students. And anybody planning to dance in college? Okay, I like that. So, but yeah, no, thank you guys. And we have treats, so we would love to come and celebrate you guys and shake your hand and take a picture.
Yes, we would love all those beautiful white jackets to come forward. I feel like
yeah, because you felt disconnected.
Chris, line out.
Yeah, very excited.
Are we supposed to raise our hand? I don't know. We're like,
They're already lining up. You got this way.
They know what pictures look like. Alex will stand directly in front of me. I mean, maybe two, and then no, it's safe.
I know. He's just like, he's quiet. He is, he really is.
One, two, three. One, two, three. That may be the most and the best, like the tightest row. Fantastic. But the board has some.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Morgan. I mean, it was amazing. Shauna was sending me the videos that went. I was like, oh my gosh. Yes.
Congratulations, Marley. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations. See, Miss Tiffany, she has your bags.
Hold on, there's more.
congrats. Congrats.
I know, you did great. You did great.
Oh, yeah.
Get everybody?
Great comic culture represented.
Yes.
Could be the next
It must be.
Right.
host.
Absolutely.
So let's give them one more hand, and we will also give the parents of the dancers a hand because they are the support system. Make sure they get. Thank you. So, do you want to pause, Jonathan, or do you want to?
We can, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, if you would like to stay and listen to Mason City Schools State of Schools address by Dr. Cooper, please feel free. But for those that have other things to do on a Tuesday night,
Practice.
yeah,
Dance practice.
we will pause and allow you guys to head out of here.
Good.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Have a great night. There's a lot of them.
Gosh, it looks like we had the whole team here. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This, you got this down.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well done.
She doesn't do football. She dances ballet. She dances at Mason Dance. Both of them, yeah.
That's so good. Thank you.
They went to Florida, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
All right, we ready to roll?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thanks for those that are still here. And I know there are thousands and thousands.
Sorry to the millions at home watching online.
The millions at home that tuned in tonight. I know the Olympics are almost over and you've been waiting for this, but one of the things I just have to say, one of the things that we talk a lot about is building meaningful relationships and doing the hard things or doing the right thing even when it's hard. And I think they quoted both of those. Those are right out of our Comet culture playbook, and they're just living it. When you asked how you became champions, they pointed right to relationships. That made me like emotional. That's great. That is the essence of Comet culture. So we're just so proud of our kids. Tonight, I'm going to try to run through our state of schools at a pace that will just be interesting and keep everybody without losing anybody along the way. If you are tuning into this and this is the first time you've been exposed to Mason City Schools, this is a slide that just shows a little bit of our story in numbers. And so just a reminder, we are a beautifully diverse district. We're a global destination. We have families that move here from around the world. I was just talking with a family the other day that just moved here from around the world because they wanted their kids to have an education. They relocated for a work assignment here as well. But there are a lot of great schools in the area. This is the school they wanted their kids to be in because of the global diversity. We have 100 different languages that are spoken here. It is a beautiful place. The Three Rocks, if you're not familiar, you heard, if you saw the presentation today, you heard our kids talk about culture. That's Comet culture in action. And we also have inclusive excellence, which you saw a beautiful example of that tonight in the 20-year anniversary of a beautiful event that happens here at Mason Intermediate, and then also personalized learning, which you can see that in our kids and their personalized pathways. Always remind people that our vision, our mission, our values are so important. They guide everything that we do. So our vision is that each and every Comet discovers purpose and potential. That may look like being plugged into a national championship dance team. That may look like a STEAM a competition that our kids are involved in. That may look like an essay that a kid is writing in a classroom. It can look a lot of different ways, but helping our kids discover purpose and potential. And that's not just for our students. Later tonight, you'll hear some highlights from Dr. Brennan on how our professional learning was went this year, and some of the numbers, and it's impressive, and it's also a chance for our staff to discover purpose and potential as well. We don't chase after trophies. That's not something we chase after, even though they're nice to listen to the different medals clinging when the kids are getting their gold medals. But we are very grateful when we're recognized for the work that's going on here. The Niche Report is a holistic report looking at our district and our community. And you can see in 2020 we were ranked number 5 in the state of Ohio, 68 in the country, and number 2, happy to report number 2 in 2026. Again, we're not chasing after that number, but very blessed to be recognized as a place that people want to have their kids to learn and people want to come and work. Purposeful learning is one of our priorities in the district, and there's some examples of that we can point to. One is we are fortunate to accomplish 5-star on our report card. So you can see one of 47 districts in the state of Ohio that received a 5-star rating on their report card. We are 38th out of 608 on our achievement, so we are continuing to achieve at high levels. 3rd in terms of our progress with our students and growing our students, and then closing the gap in our different subcategories, number 15 out of 607 school districts across the state. Another great stat, which is just wonderful, I love this picture too, in front of our high school, our beautiful facilities, but almost 10% of our students in the class of 2025 are recognized by the College Board for their National Merit finalists or commended scholars. That is such an accomplishment. I have lots of colleagues, I tell this all the time, that would just be thrilled with 1% or a student recognized for this. For us to have 10% reminds us that not only do we have great things going on in the classroom, but we have great families, great kids coming to us that we get to work with every day. Other purposeful learning, we do have a third grade guarantee that's out there. We have 99.8% of our students are passing the third grade guarantee. There was one student that didn't move, and so that's where the 0.2 does not get recorded in our data. But all of our students that are attending Mason are passing and moving on from that third grade guarantee, which is a great accomplishment. Reflects the hard work that our teachers in pre-K through 3 are accomplishing each and every day. Other purposeful learning, this is a picture of some of our students that are presenting at a conference. They are part of our XLP group. XLP stands for Experiential Learning, and it's kids that are connecting students to real life experiences, whether they're bringing in professionals to be their mentors or speakers, or they're going out and connecting with internships. These are just some of the numbers that are so impressive. This is a student-run organization that happens throughout our school day. So they are moving forward, and our goal is that each and every junior and senior would have some experience, if not our freshmen and sophomores, with this XLP experience. And you'll see on here that this has been so popular, it's moved down into our middle school, where we had XLP Junior launch this year, so that our middle schoolers are getting those career experiences as well. This is Tim King there in the picture. Tim King's a legend in Mason City Schools, but look at all the teachers there representing their Mason gear. This is a picture of a staff journey day. Staff journeys are personalized professional learning. This is one picture of one of the examples that our staff signed up and said, we want to learn from Tim King, who was talking to them about our new launch program, which is a part of our Encore strategy, keeping some of our retired folks engaged in what they love to do. And he's teaching outdoor wellness and learning and leadership. And so he's teaching these teachers about that program here. Here are just some numbers. These are great numbers to reflect on. You want to be a place where people want to come and work. Not only do people come here to learn and want to move to this area, but we also have some great numbers here. We just surveyed our staff to see how are things going when it comes to engagement. So you've heard of, there's different ways to measure this. This was the way that we did that through some of the questions here, and you'll see 90% recommend Mason City Schools is a great place to work. They would recommend it to others. 88% have said that there is a supervisor or someone in the organization that cares about their growth and well-being and support. I will tell you the national numbers on some of that. We were looking at some of the national numbers. They're like in the 30, 40s percent. For us to be in the 90s and 88, it says everything about the people that come to work every day here, because it takes people to make that kind of a culture work. We also have some other data here. 84.8% feel like this is a place that they can use and exercise their strengths and their values. Think about purpose and potential. And then 80% of our staff say they receive on a regular basis meaningful feedback in the last 6 months to continue to have them grow. So some areas that we can continue to grow in, but also really strong numbers. 87.2% say they feel like they belong and they connect with colleagues. And a lot of that comes down to that intentionality around building meaningful relationships. So we'll continue to do that work. Another priority in our district, how we organize ourselves, is meaningful experiences. We feel like not only do we want to have purposeful learning, but meaningful experiences. You can see the picture of some dancers here, the national champs. There's also some other champs on this page. You can see the ultimate Frisbee champs. They're amazing. The group that you saw, I think it was a couple, maybe it was our last board meeting with the United Sound that came and presented the inclusive experience, where our students led a group to come together for an inclusive music experience, a beautiful example of that. Our broadcasting crew up here, they have like 4,000 or 5,000 followers that follow them on Mason Broadcasting. If you've not followed them yet, please check them out. They do a fabulous job of calling the games and covering the games. But then we also have our 9-time state championship, consecutive championship girls tennis team there as well. Just to give you some of the examples of the things that are going on here. We are a D1, I would call it an athletic powerhouse. I don't know if that's the right words, but we have, since we joined the GMC, the Greater Miami Conference, which I would say is one of the most competitive, if you've had an athlete, one of the most competitive conferences in the state of Ohio. We have won that straight up 18 years in a row since we've joined. So 18 consecutive years. 229 of the district championships have gone to Mason athletes. And again, our girls have won state championship 9 years in a row. And I think they had maybe one senior, if I remember maybe one or two seniors. So they're going to continue. There they are again. We'll just keep highlighting these champions. There was a lot of energy that went into that picture. But yeah, we're just so grateful. I love seeing their smiles. Another group you hear a lot about, just to give you one more example, this is down on the field at Lucas Oil Stadium, and this is the crew behind me. That is our national recognized marching band, William Mason Marching Band. Those are 13 consecutive Grand National finalist performances, so they continue to do great work. Another meaningful experience, not just on the athletics and performing arts, but we had a class this year launched called My Mason Journey. And My Mason Journey is a specialist class that every single Mason student gets the chance to be a part of. And we teach into existence what comic culture is all about by challenging our students to think about who are they? What are their goals in life? What are the things that they want to be a part of? And this was an evening to bring parents and students together into one space, and we had so many people show up for this that we had to have just one parent come for each student because we had over 1,200 people come. And it was a beautiful example of students and their parents talking about life goals and who they really are. Connected community is another one of our priorities, and we cannot do anything without a great community around us, and we are blessed to have one. You'll see in this picture some of the work we do with our veterans with when we honor them together at an event over at Mason Elementary, Mason Intermediate. We have the Making a Difference. So we have Make a Difference at the middle school where they're doing great things for other school districts around the area. This is some welding going on in the picture. We have a partnership with the Maid Chamber, and they have some of our kids come over work on some skills trades, and then some of the things that we do when we bring people in to celebrate our cultures in many, many different ways. And that takes a connected community to do that. This is another beautiful example of where our community rallied around over the holidays to make sure that over 1,000 students were able to have a wonderful holiday experience because their families came in. They were able to come in here and shop for free to cover all this because our community covered that. And families, it was an emotional moment. It was honoring our families with dignity, that they would come in private, they would be able to pick out things for their kiddos and to bring those home to have gifts over the holidays. And we just thank our community for rallying around to make that possible. And then we have another example, those journey days we talked about where the kids are learning at home or we're learning here as a staff. We had the Kiwanis Club here host one of the experiences for our kids where they were fixing up bikes. So kids were learning how to fix up bikes, and then those bikes were actually used as part of the gifts that you saw in that last picture where we had our entire community come around. You see folks like the Gibsons there in that picture, and the city folks came around, and we were able to give those bikes to families that needed bikes. All right, legacy investment, our last section here. This is where we look into the future and how do we sustain the Mason quality. You'll see up on this graph, where does the money come from? Where does the money go? Well, the money comes from property tax. And you'll hear us talk a lot more about property tax because property tax is a hot topic in the state of Ohio right now in legislation and everywhere else because they feel like we have a lot of property tax, and so they want to lower that or do something about it. You've seen some of the districts even go to a income tax instead of a property tax. So there's different ways to address that, but it's an important revenue source that goes towards salaries, towards people. We are a people organization, one of the largest employers in the county, and so the money that comes from our property taxes we're so grateful for goes and continues to support the staff to make the things happen here that you've seen tonight. Fiscal stewardship, these are just some of the numbers to show you some comparisons. When you look at Mason City Schools expenditure per pupil compared to the state average. So we are giving this amazing Mason experience, national championship kind of experiences for kids. and we're doing it for under the state average. So when you start to look at some of the numbers here, and you think about stewardship and how do you steward things, and you think about a Board of Education that over many, many years that have stewarded the finances well and taxpayer dollars well, this is an example district of been very intentional with doing that and still delivering high Mason quality experience. When I talk about property tax, one of the things people refer to is Ohio is number 8 in the nation with the highest property tax. But we're number 45 in terms of money coming from the state to support schools. That's kind of where the problem sits. And so the weight of school funding comes down to local property owners and people that are paying property tax. That's just the way the structure is. That is the system we live in. That's why some school districts have started to look at how to diversify and go to more of a income tax. And so these are conversations that we're having. Fortunately, we're in a very strong financial position right now as a school district, so we're in a good position. So this is not me coming and saying we have to run levies right now. This is me saying this is a big conversation in the state of Ohio that people should tune into, so that we are not sitting on the sideline, but that we are engaged in the conversation, because this is important if we're going to continue to deliver great education for our kids. One of the commitments that we said, I'll just go through some of them, in 2020, when 70% of our community supported a levy to move forward to fund our schools, and we have not been back. We promised that we would not come back for 5 years, and it's past that 5-year moment, and we're looking into the future. But some of the things that we've committed to is, one, we said we would lower class size, and we've been able to do that and deliver on that. We said that we would deliver on prevention and wellness. We've built a prevention and wellness support team, including therapy dogs and all kinds of resources for our families. We have a safety team in place that we collaborate with the city of Mason to make sure that we have police officers in all of our buildings and other resources to keep our students and staff safe, and many other safety procedures and systems that we've put in place. You'll even hear of us refer to one tonight. Mr. Messer will mention one, I think, at some point when we get through that we're going to be hopefully approving tonight. And then 712, future-ready, effective spaces, offerings, opportunities, and classes that our kids get a chance to be a part of. Again, each and every comment, discovering purposes and potential, is our vision. It's what we're here for. We measure ourselves against OKRs, objectives and key results. These are the OKRs that we've, if anyone would ever like to dig deep into these, I'd love to do that with you at some point. I will not dig deep into them now. But staff journeys, you'll hear about tonight. That's where we deliver professional learning. Student journeys is where we're connecting our kids in purposeful ways so they can celebrate themselves as learners, leaders, citizens, and their big dreams. Learner-centered systems of support, making sure we have all the support and resources for kids that maybe not only just maybe not they might be struggling in class, but they may need enrichment in class. And so we make sure we get the resources basically to meet every kid where they need to be. And then dream centers, if you've not been to a dream center, we were able to deliver on dream centers in a debt-free way, where these are innovative spaces where kids can come together, where dreams come true, and they can build new, and it's an amazing space for collaboration. Family-facing systems. We asked our families what they needed in terms of making their lives a little easier, and they said to consolidate and align systems. So we are working hard to move to a new system called Power School. That's our student information system, and we're doing that because we believe we can deliver better experience for our families. And then finally, new staff support. We are a district that is at a place in history, a milestone, where about 40% of our staff for the next 5 to 7 years will be retiring. So we are building systems to support bringing on new staff and supporting them. And the Mason Momentum teams, those are teams, and if you go to the next slide, I think it talks about them, where we have a team looking at our OKRs on a day-to-day basis and looking at this year's goals and next year's goals, and then we have future teams that run out ahead to do R&D and check out new innovative things to bring back to the district. It kind of looks like this next picture, where if you think of the Fusion team as the big cruise ship that's moving along, that we know the destination we want to go to, and we're directing it that way, and we have this high quality experience within that, and then we have folks out checking things out ahead of us and making sure they're bringing back the very best innovative solutions so that we can test those out. That could be AI, it could be robotics, it could be a lot of things, but they're testing it out so that we make sure we have high quality experiences for our kids. And one example of that is OWL. Outdoor Wellness and Leadership is one example of something that we've tried, that we thought, hey, let's try this out, and that has turned into a huge success that is really impacting students K-12. And if you would ask our staff about it, they would tell you this has been an amazing experience, getting kids outside, connected to nature, and building leadership capacity with them. Each and every comment, Discover's purpose and potential is our vision. We continue to work toward that end. We can't do it without the people that are here, our Board of Education, their leadership, the administrators, and we're just very grateful that we're able to serve our families and our students that way. Thanks so much. Any questions for me, you can let me know, but I don't want to take any more time than I need to. Good? Thanks.
Jonathan, will we have that presentation online, or would they just?
We will, and as has been our practice, we also publish after every board meeting a summary on our website of the entire meeting, including the link to the ICRC video, and we'll have the link for the presentation in that as well.
There you go. Thank you, Mrs. Carson.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan, for the update. So I would say the status of our schools is strong.
We're in a really great place right now, and I point back to the people and the relationships. I'll answer the same way our kids did. It's the relationships that we're building that allow us to do the things that we do.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
On to number 6, hearing of the public. Tracy, anything today?
Nothing tonight.
Thank you so much. Item number 7, policy change recommendations. This is a second hearing, so I will need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Cooper, you want to just have a moment, or?
Yeah, really quick. For anyone that doesn't, if you're ever interested in the policy process, we receive policy is typically influenced by legislation or a local decision that we make. It goes through OSBA legislative attorneys. They bring that information back to us. We then go through multiple steps and reviews, and once we've gone through those steps, we have a board committee or a superintendent committee with board members on it that review it. We bring it to a first reading, which happened in January, I believe, our first reading, and then we open it up to public if anybody would like to talk more about that, and then this is a second reading, so this is where it goes out for a vote. But if anybody does have any questions about any of the policy, please, happy to sit down with you at any time to go through that.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper. He explained that well. We are going to vote to put these policies into our board policies. But if you have questions or you want to see something or clarification, please reach out to Dr. Cooper or anybody here on the board. So with that, do we have any further commentary? Seeing none, Cynthia, please call the roll.
Yes, Mr. Orr?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Mrs. Timmons?
Yes.
Okay, on to item number 8, superintendent recommendation personnel items. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Cooper.
There's a lot of things that I'm excited about, but tonight, this is something I'm really excited about. So I'm going to run through. This is our personnel recommendations. This is the time of the year where we have lots of things going on. So we're hiring lots of new people, and we have all kinds of interviews going on. So I'm going to highlight a handful of things just so you know what's on this. Again, as always, we invite people, if you have questions about the specifics and how this comes about, we're happy to answer that. In Section A, we have Deanna Todd and Brandon Lee. We're recommending to move into Deanna moving into the principal position at Mason Intermediate, and Brandon Lee moving into the assistant principal role at Mason Intermediate. They have been serving faithfully there as interims, and they went through the interview process and unanimously selected as the team going forward, along with Vivian Verona, and we're super excited about that. Hopefully, we'll be able to hear from them here after a minute and a vote. We also, in Section C, we have David Knapp. David Knapp coming in as our Chief Innovation Officer. David Knapp has a very impressive background, and when you get to know him a little bit, he has served as a Chief Innovation Officer. He was a teacher, Chief Innovation Officer, building principal, and many, many other things, and we are excited for David to join our team and to become a comment, to continue our innovation and to move us forward. We also have on here on the agenda on section I, just to point out, you'll see ASI, that's after school intervention. We have lots of after school intervention that's going on. You'll see that show up in another section later on in the agenda as well. So it shows up in certified and classified. In section L, you'll see some retirements that show up in section L. The retirements that are in here, I think if I have my data right, these are big retirements. I mean, people that have been serving for their entire career. Brenda Ehlers, my daughter had. She's a wonderful influencer, and many others. I think there's over 100 years of experience in those 4 people that are retiring on that section alone. Lots of institutional knowledge, and they have just, what's beautiful about our teachers is many of them have student teachers come in, they train them, and they build the profession. So we're just so grateful for those teachers. Section P, we have lots of coaches coming on. Just a reminder in Section W as well. So you see coaches come on in classified and certified, and then also coaches show up in Section AE, which is coaches that are supported by our booster organization. So you'll see those come up throughout the agenda, especially this time of the year because there's spring sports. And those spring sports, I want to thank our coaches. Our coaches make a huge impact in our world. You'll also see in that not just coaches, but other staff that are supporting programs, teacher leaders that are supporting things that are going on in our schools. So thank you for their leadership and their investment as well. There is, in Section S, just a reminder that, Mr. Orr, you know that there's a good player there that you just want to remember, Section S. Section U is some more retirements, people that have served here. We have, I think, someone that served their whole career as in transportation. So I want to thank them for their service there. And I think that brings AA, welcome back to Jan Hill. Jan Hill's coming back. I noticed on the agenda she's served here before. So people, they work here their whole career. They may take a little time off and they come back. So it's a wonderful place to continue to bring people on. We're just so grateful for everyone. And then the last AD, I did know that I saw some enrichment opportunities, and the Magic cheerleading crew is on here. I think you've met the Magic cheerleading crew before, so I just want to point that out. That's in AD later on in your agenda. That's just a handful of things. There's many more things on there, but I'll stop there and let us move on to hopefully welcoming some folks.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Cynthia, please call the roll.
Mr. Orr?
Yes, but abstain as to part S.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Mrs. Timmons?
Yes.
All right. Well, we are clapping because we are so grateful tonight to have 3 administrators moving into positions permanently. And the first, Deanna Todd, we're going to ask you if you would come up and say hello. We'll get you to start us off, and then Brandon Lee and family, and then we'll have, yes, Mr. Knapp, you can jump in there next. I'll tell you, as Deanna's making it over here, Deanna and Brandon came in as interims this year, and these 2 leaders have made such an impact. And I know Mr. Messer knows them well. Mr. Messer worked closely with Deanna for many years, and we've all seen Brandon Lee growing. And they just came in, and they didn't act like interim folks. They came in, and they just took over. And they did it in a beautiful way with humility and hunger and service-oriented leadership. And so we're just so grateful for you and the Brandon and the impact that you made. But I'll turn it over to you.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity, allowing me to serve in the interim role. I have grown tremendously. I feel like this year, and the year's not even over. I've gained a lot of confidence, and not just in myself, but understanding the true meaning behind leadership, and it's that team. And I know you were mentioning what the dance team and everyone said today, but those relationships, and I knew it before, but in this position I just really got a sense of that. And our MI Strong family is just that, one where it's all about connections and our culture. And I feel like we've done a lot so far. And again, second semester is just starting, but it's because of everyone in our building and even people in this room. So just that team within the building, outside of it, and I'm just so grateful, like I said, for being able to be interim, because I learned so much, and I'm just so excited about the future and just us being together as a team and where we're going to go at MI. So thank you so much.
That's great.
Well, we want to thank you for stepping up and taking the interim and then being brave and taking the permanent position. I think we all knew you could. We just needed you to know that you could. And so I know that the MI family, because I know some of the MI family, very good hands, and they're excited to have you and Brandon and Vivian in leadership there. So we're here to help and support. So continue to lead with courage and transparency. So thank you for answering the call.
I wanted to say one thing to you, that I'm so impressed with your humbleness, that you're amazing. And like, I just feel like there's sometimes, and I'm not speaking specifically to Mason schools, but people want to step up because they want to be someone, and that's not you. You want to do something, and you have done it. And you should be so proud, because we're so thankful to have you where you are.
Well said. Absolutely. It's reassuring too, as a board member, when people, come up to you in a out of context, place that you're not necessarily expecting to be recognized, to go out of their way to let you know how relieved, how excited they are to hear somebody has been elevated to a position of leadership. And that was something that I experienced when you took the interim role, and it is just such a testament to the journey you've taken since starting here in Mason, that the staff in that building and the families in that building feel so lucky and confident to have you at the helm. So we are grateful that nothing this year has scared you off from embracing the full-time role.
I'm just going to quick congratulations. I was at the career launch the other day, and Jonathan walked past while you were talking to the big group of folks, and he was like, she's professional. And it was just that moment of like this confidence and this idea that you were just in it and leading, and I'm just really grateful that you've got that interim experience behind you, and now you get to be full-time in that permanent position. So congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Mr. Lee, can we call you up, Mr. Lee? Please come up and
Good evening. To the board, to district leaders, to the boss. I, of course, have to start by just saying thank you. It's an honor. I'm still standing here very humble and grateful for this opportunity with this role. Yes, it's February, and we haven't even gone through a whole year yet, but I still think back to beginning of the year, and this was my word to start the year for Journey, was to serve. And so for me, it was making sure I serve our students, our staff, our families, and MI is a special place. It really is. And I'm still the new guy, and I'm still learning every single day, and I love it. Okay, a lot of people, they ask me like, are you enjoying it? Coming out of the classroom, and I can stand here confidently today and say I love it. We saw a team. Deanna mentioned team. That's a word that stands out in my mind. I'm also not here today without our amazing team at MI, and that's working with Deanna, working with Vivian every day, our amazing administrative team, our students, our staff. They are a part of our team. Our families, they are a part of our team. In my interview last week, all I really wanted to focus on, and the one thing I'll just stand by is, obviously I'm here to make an impact, to serve. I hope I impact and help students on a daily basis, same with staff, same with the people I work with. I hope they know that I'm learning as much from them as I hope they're getting from me, and that's going to be something I continue throughout my career in this role, and that's That's all I got to say. Just thank you so much.
So potential is a word that I kind of have a love-hate relationship with, but I would hear all the time in the middle school, there's this guy with a ton of potential. I don't think you ever taught any of my kids, but I had heard about you long before you raised your hand for service and leadership. And so, Brandon, to see you kind of walk that out and live that out is really fulfilling. To see you trust yourself and believe in yourself enough that you can do this and continue to have a growth mindset about who you can become in a leadership role. So grateful to have you there and grow with this growing team at MI. So I feel very confident that we've got the right team in place. So thank you. And I want to say thank you to all your families who are here to support you guys, because you guys couldn't do what you do without them.
And thank you for your humble leadership. I mean, kind of going back to Deanna, it's just such a wonderful quality, and I think it's something you see across the board here that really makes up such a great team. And you're always learning. You know, you're not dragging up from the top. You're leading, you know, with your boots on the ground, and I just think that is such a key to success. And you have such a good grip on that, both of you. And MI's really lucky to have you. We are too.
Brandon, sorry.
Good, go.
I get to go? I just want to say, I know how hard it is to make the decision to leave the classroom. And to hear you talk about that, watching your energy and you move into this role and knowing you still get to build those relationships, but now you get to impact even more students on a day-to-day basis. And knowing you do that with the same care and heart you did in your classroom is so meaningful and is going to carry us so far for both of you as a team working together at MI. So thank you for your commitment to the schools and our kids.
And I was going to share that, like with Deanna, I've had people come up and it was a little more of a mixed response, only because the folks at Mason Middle School were devastated to hear that you were going to be leaving for the assistant principal job. But at the same time, they understood the opportunity and the growth that you'd get to enjoy, and the excitement of the folks in MI that have just said you've been, a rock star there and have really benefited from not just, having a competent leader in that role, but the unique experience you bring, not just as a classroom teacher, but with your math background and everything. That's something that I know that the teachers in MI very much value and the students benefit from. And I also want to just to the little ones that are here tonight, getting to stay up late with mom and dad, and say, congratulations to them. You guys should be so proud. We have a lot of awesome students, a lot of awesome teachers, a lot of awesome staff, and we don't take this board meeting to invite all of them to come here and to be honored. We save it for the really special occasions, and you guys are getting to sit here and see your parents be recognized for some really great accomplishments. So hopefully in a few years you'll be able to go find this moment on video and look back and be like, oh my gosh, what a great memory.
They're going to want to start coming every month.
Regulars right here. All right. And Mr. Knapp, if you'd come on up and say hello, and we'll make it a wrap. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. First, just a giant thank you to the Mason Board of Education, to Dr. Cooper, to the executive team. I had a hard conversation with my team at Loveland today. I've been in Loveland for 12 years now. My kids go to school there. I live in Loveland. It's been all I've known for the past 12 years. I've had an amazing experience there. It was a tough decision for me to make the leap to come to Mason, but I tell you, culture has a feel, and wow, having spent some time working with folks in Mason for a while, for the better part of my time in Loveland, I've always felt that way. Always been really impressed with the work that goes on here, the focus on culture, the focus on kids, thinking forward, always thinking big, and never holding back. And those feelings were only reaffirmed going through the interview process. Kind of feeling my way around and seeing if it was going to be a good fit. I just left every conversation feeling more excited and invigorated and ready to go. So, coming tonight, it's always hard to follow kids, right? Whenever you're coming up to the podium and to follow these two great leaders here as well. But I'm floored. I'm just so stoked. I just feel like just being in these spaces and being with these people, and I'm just really excited to be joining the Mason team. I'm really excited. I hope to be able to add just a little bit of value to this amazing team that's already over here. But I'm really excited to get going. So I just want to say thank you again to the board and to the team. I have a lot of learning to do. I don't officially start until August, but I will be getting going as quickly as possible just to start to form relationships and build those, getting to know our people, figuring out the ways that I can immediately add value and support, and hopefully take us to the next level, which is already pretty high. So thank you again for the amazing opportunity.
David, we're excited for you to get started. Dr. Brennan, you're going to be like the old wizened. Oh yeah, that's wrong word. But on our dais here, yeah, you know we've kind of transitioned through some folks here, but we're excited to add talent to the team. I think sometimes it's good to be opportunistic and add talent where we can find it. So excited for you to get started. There's a lot of innovation. I remember when I got started on the board 4 years ago, almost everything that I heard was about technology and our implementation and execution around that strategy. So still a lot of work to do, and happy to support you as you get up to speed and dig into that work. So thank you for coming over, and thank you for serving in Mason. We appreciate it.
Mr. Knapp, welcome. We've heard wonderful things about you, and I know it's a very rigorous process to come to our school and take a leadership role. So, and you do have big shoes to fill. I mean, we all love Christine, and she's fabulous. So I'm certain that you are going to do a great job, and I look forward to working with you and seeing you here on meeting nights, and I do try to kick them under the table and keep the meetings like reasonable time. So
now there's two of us.
Yeah, we get them. But welcome. We are so glad you could be here tonight, and looking forward to having you with our district.
David, I'm so excited. I've worked with David, so I am so thrilled. I know you to be so forward-thinking and innovative and just a great addition to the culture of Mason, and I just could not be happier for you, or for us, to be quite honest. As they all said, we're here to help you and support you and help you to continue to move this district forward, but I know that moving forward, we're in great hands. So thank you for taking this opportunity and joining the team.
And David, I also want to just congratulate you and recognize that coming from a district like Loveland, it was just an outstanding district that we have the utmost respect for, and our great colleagues and friends over there. We know that you bring a lot of great insight and great experience here that we're all excited to learn from and benefit from, and know that having family and living over there makes it that much of a challenging decision to leave and try something new. But we're really excited to have you here. And I'm personally excited that I now have a name and a face to, connect with when I get locked out of my kids' Aubrey and Mason Connect account. I've been a little bit in limbo there with Christine transitioning. Like I gotta know who I'm one of those people. Like I need a person. I can't just rely on the do-it-yourself instructions.
Not till August.
That's right. Well, I know when I talked to Mr. Broadwater, he was just so complimentary, such a great collaborator, and getting you over here. And I know that's hard for them to lose you, but we're just so grateful to gain you over here. So congratulations. I do have some swag for you because you're going to have to move from orange to green. So I'll bring that to you. But I also thought, is it okay to get a picture of the board and all of our new families So come down, do a quick family picture, and then we'll get you out of here.
Yep.
Yeah. Family picture, yes. You didn't know. I mean, really, your outfits are, can you coordinate your outfits?
We did not coordinate, but I was just checking. I did.
Looking sharp, Tad.
Yeah, come on over.
What a great night.
Tracy's making it longer. Brandon's wife wants the picture now.
There we go. Danny, find the window. 1, 2, 3. Love it. Up. Look it. There we go. Good job. All right. Nice.
These are a bit too rolly for my taste.
We'll get you some block wedges. Yes.
Lock
Lock wheels.
wheels on these things. I go rolling down the thing. Like we're in great hands. Good crew.
Ball always seems to bounce the camel's way. That's the thing that's like
Is it okay to send them on their way? Okay, families, thank you.
Enjoy
You
your
can head out, get some ice cream, whatever your plans are.
Whatever you promised.
Whatever you promised.
Whatever. Thank you. Oh, man. Yeah, trip to Dollar Tree, maybe, Quatman's.
Whatever bribes had to happen to go an hour and 15 minutes, that was pretty good.
Right.
That
Tell
was-
them 15
Ooh,
minutes.
not
an hour and a half.
bad.
That was amazing.
They were really good. Cute families.
Thank you again. We had a couple of the leaders in the room. I just recognized Steph and Ali being here, and thank you for being here always and supporting. We were talking about leaders that make a difference, and I know Ashwin Cortil was here to support our kids as well, but thanks for both of you being here to support everybody tonight.
Well, we've got a full house again, so we will restart at item number 9, Superintendent's new course recommendations. It's a first reading, so we don't need a motion, but I'll turn it over to Dr. Cooper and Dr. Brennan.
Yeah, first course, this is something that's gone through Student Achievement Committee. It's just adding American Sign Language level 4. So it's such a popular class because of our instructors and the great culture they build, and so we're adding another course. And again, you will vote on this next meeting, second hearing.
I love this as a dad of a daughter who is actually in college, who will have a minor in deaf studies and sign language. You know, when she just graduated last year, but we were only able to go through ASL 2, and she had the CCP 3 and 4. So to be able to bring this in-house is just tremendous. So really excited about this course. Moving on to item number 10, Superintendent Recommendations, Action Items. I do need a motion for this.
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Cooper.
Okay, we have just a handful of items here. The first is a book disposal list. We on a regular basis are going through and disposing of books that are outdated or are used, and we're replacing those with other books. So you can see that list here. Warren County ESC, we have 2 agreements you'll see on item B and C. Those 2 agreements are to support students that need additional support in different assignments and locations. Cincinnati Children's Agreement is an agreement to support students as well, so you'll see that agreement on here. Cincinnati Children's Hospital, sometimes we'll have nurses that will support different students based on their medical needs. Item E is this is a consulting service that we have in place to help us with our transition. As you heard tonight, we have a transition with our innovation team and technology, and this is a support with Dan Hudson coming on. He is a consultant. He's worked in the field of data support. Previously, he's worked at Lakota schools. He's retired. He's coming here to help us support with that family-facing systems that we talked about earlier tonight that we referenced. Item F is the Raptor. The Raptor piece here is what I referenced earlier, and I think Mr. Messer is going to be our point person there, and that is our safety system, I think is probably the proper way to say that we're going to be putting in place next year. And so all staff will have badges and they can alert, but it's not just for major safety, but it's for letting other staff members know around them that they may need just additional support in their classrooms. If there's a behavior concern or different things like that, they can get extra support, I think, by pressing the button. And I think you'll hear about that today in our committee reports. The serving line renovation at the high school. So our student nutrition services is their own business within our organization. So they have funds as well, and they're going to be funding the renovation of the serving line area in our large commons. It's a little over 20 years old, and so they're going to be moving forward on expanding that and making it the flow of traffic for students a little bit easier for students to get in and out of there. We already had to update some of our equipment, and so this is the bid that came through for us to actually do the construction to put the new equipment in place as well. And then the final one there is item H. So if you've been to our outdoor events, in the evening, you notice they have lights. So we have lights at our stadium. Those stadium lights are getting very old to the point where sometimes we're not sure if they're going to stay on the entire event. They've actually gone out during a track meet. And that's always a really tough thing for one. It's a little embarrassing when it goes out, but it's a safety issue when kids are running or pole vaulting. And so we're getting new lights put in there. And Eric Messer has also brought that through our committee work as well. And that'll be on the football field area where our band performs and the football and everything else, and it'll also be on our our multi-purpose field as well, right? Okay.
Wonderful. Any further commentary?
I think so.
Seeing none, Cynthia, please call the roll.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Mrs. Timmons?
Yes.
That takes us to item number 11, Treasurer's Report. And so tonight we have a special guest because the treasurer is off doing a family activity, well deserved. So we have our assistant treasurer, Cynthia Steubenvold. So I need a motion for the treasurer's report.
So moved.
Second.
Cynthia, the floor is yours.
Yes. So tonight we have in A through D some monthly financial reports that we complete at the end of every month that come to the board to be approved so that the board is aware of the spending that we're doing and where our finances are on a monthly basis, and as well where our investments are. E is the big topic, is our financial forecasts. So this was moved up to February with the recent legislation, and so this would have been something that we would have been doing later in the school year, like in May, and it's moved up to February. So that's a new item for this time of the year. Our inventory disposals, we actually contracted with a company to do a physical inventory for all of the things that we buy at the beginning of FY25. And so this list includes everything that was kind of reconciling what our system had versus what they all found on site. And that was worth the expense because they had like 2 guys who just spent like days and days at the buildings just going through and, marking off everything that they saw. We have new funds in G. So these are 3 new funds, one of them being what related to the OWLS grant. Tim King actually got a grant from the Department of Natural Resources, and so that's exciting because again, like our people are always trying to find new ways to fund things, and trying to like stretch every dollar that they can, which is wonderful. And then we have donations is the last piece.
Thank you, Cynthia. That was wonderful. Do we have any further commentary? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Mrs. Timmons?
Yes.
All right, we are at item number 12, committee reports. So we will start with arts and activities.
Thank you. Mrs. Timmons and I attended that meeting early on February 5th, and we had a few out-of-state field trips. Well, these are actually not out of state. I think they're just overnight. So our Model UN will be heading up to Columbus, and our speech and debate team will be heading to Sylvania, Toledo area for some out-of-state trips. One of them was this past weekend, and then the other one was coming up next weekend. So wish them our best of luck. We have some clubs. Real Estate Club has been approved, so we have some young business-minded entrepreneurs out there, so that's exciting. The Electrical and Computer Engineering Club was also approved for the high school. And at the middle school, we had a few staff members approved for some additional duties. I think you saw that with the Mason Magic Club, Cheer Club, right? Mason Magic Club, or not Magic, just, excuse me, Cheer Club, just Mason Magic. And then the noteworthy second semester pay was also approved. So those were the middle school additional duties. The middle school also had some new clubs, a photography club and Mason Studio, which is similar to MBC at the high school. So they're excited about having some students begin that training earlier. And so they're also working with the high school club as well. So that'll be great. And then we did approve the middle school drama club poster, Aladdin Jr. So that's coming up. So very exciting. So it was a quick meeting. And Dana, anything else to add?
No, it was surprisingly quick. It was great.
That's right. I think they're very efficient. I think the bell rings at 7:25,
Yeah.
so they try to hurry. And
Before school, I was like, oh, this is very efficient. No, it was great. It was fantastic.
Perfect. We'll move on to Athletic Council. So I think Dr. Cooper was there on that.
Yes, we went through some different, I think there was one trip that was a baseball trip that they've gone to each year that we approved and went through that. Kurt Bly talked a little bit about that. We did have a brief discussion around NIL because NIL is kind of a big topic in the state of Ohio with the OHSAA having the amendment approved, and then now the House Bill 661 going forward. So we have a bit of discussion around that. And then some preparation for end of year spring events that are coming up. And I think Mr. Messer was there too, so I'll let you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think one thing we did talk about, and it's more about our students, Jen Mott brought up the fact that the current seniors, some of those athletes were the very first students that were in the middle school students athletic leadership team, the SALT program. And those students have been coming back down to the middle school this year to talk to, inspire, motivate the middle school students. So another great way of showing leadership and our kids helping out each other and taking that leadership role to say, hey, how can I help? So I think that was just, and she had some pictures as well, so it was kind of nice to see these kids. But kudos to Jen Mott for starting that program. I know the high school, they have it now too, but just see that kind of that middle school to high school and then going back to help support was a great thing to see. And so I also just want to say good luck to all of our athletes. Great job in the winter. I know they're in their state competitions, state tournaments right now, and also I know they're getting amped up for that springtime as well. So good luck to all of them, and thanks to all the coaches who put a lot of time and work to work with our students. So thank you.
Thanks.
Wonderful. We'll move to business advisory. So also Dr. Cooper.
Yeah, business advisory, we start each meeting with our XLP group, and our XLP group had a new leadership transition. So they moved their new leaders in. I don't know if you picked up on that if you were there, but they're so smooth with their presentation. You wouldn't know they were the new leaders, but they step right in. They start giving all the data, and they walk us through that. We also had some conversation. Sean gave a quick update on house properties and kind of where we are with all of that. And then we had some just great conversation around the room, around futures preparedness and some of the work that we're doing to hear from each of our business partners, but also just to have our students working with them to continue to think about what are the ways that we're best preparing our experiences, whether it's these I-team experiences or future-ready experiences or other experiences in the classroom to prepare our kids for the future. And if anybody else is there that wants to speak to that, I think we're good.
Got it.
Thanks.
We'll go to Diversity Council. So that's Mrs. Carson.
Yeah, we actually had Dr. Blessing come and share a little bit about some of our new staff onboarding processes that we continue to hear and think about how we're, I love hearing all the new folks reference the culture that is coming here. And our rocks, you know, our culture rock and our inclusive excellence rock and our personalized learning are so important. We've done a lot of deep learning around that as a district over the last, you know, many years. Even when you think about what Mr. Handy was saying, many years of understanding who the district was. And so there's just this really amazing opportunity to know what we always say is we've never arrived. So we're going to continue to do that learning together about how do we onboard staff to really understand who Mason is and what we believe. And so that was a really important conversation, and it was great to hear our Diversity Council share ideas around that. And also fantastic to hear some of our school leaders, including Jay Reuter and Soroya Smith, share what was really happening at the building level to support that work. We also, this is a huge, important, exciting time for us as a Diversity Council because we have Black History Fest coming up this week. We have over 20 Black-owned businesses in our showcase this year. Just really, that continues to grow and be something that's so important for us, not just to be consuming Black culture, but to actually be able to support it in that way. Great hands-on activities, and then of course, if you haven't been there, Divine Cafe, all of the food is sponsored by the Mason Schools Foundation. We're so grateful for their underwriting of all of our Mirrors and Windows events throughout the year. And then the YOLO Band, which will have you on your feet dancing, all of our PTOs help support bringing the YOLO Band. So definitely have that on your calendar. And then right afterwards, next week, Wednesday, March 4th, our 19th annual Taste of Mason. We have really energized it with a lot of an additional, some of our student activities groups have really taken on the carnival. So those are all of our student groups who are putting on even a more robust. There'll be some additional areas upstairs if you've been there with kind of spreading out a little farther. And we have some fantastic new restaurants. We really worked hard to get, so we have an Uzbek restaurant that'll be there, a Mediterranean restaurant, just a lot of restaurants and opportunities that reflect the cultures in our schools. So if you don't have March 4th on your calendar, and I'm speaking to the TV audience because I know all of you do, you will not want to miss it. It is, I think, going to be an outstanding event.
Well, I'll be there for both. I think I've signed up to help on Black History Fest. I have to consult my wife as to.
You are. I know Jessica's on it.
I know she is, but I know my name is in there, so I just got to find out what my job is. So we'll figure that out when we get to the door. But two definitely can't miss events. So transition to Facilities Committee, and that is you, Mr. Messer.
It is me. So thank you for approving the Raptor badge alert system. That's a system in which we can provide support quickly to our staff in need. Like Dr. Cooper talked about, it could be a 3-click, which could be a student's having a seizure in a classroom. It could be a fight in a hallway, or a 7-click. Hopefully we never have to do something like that. It could be a little more severe where there's an intruder in the building. But more than just that, I think the one thing we were trying to figure out is how can we have a system that's going to help us with attendance and reunification. If you think about an incident, it's usually 2 to 4 minutes. And we're blessed to have the police officers in our buildings already. But how do we then also do the reunification and take those attendances? And this is going to help us do both those two things in a quick and efficient manner with our staffs. And we can use these during fire drills and different things we do without. It's a lot of practice we have to do those. It's been a long process. We've been trying to make sure we get this right. We've worked with our union. We've worked with our leaderships and kind of said, okay, we've had probably 3 or 4 different presentations to try to get to the right one. We felt like this is the one we want to move forward with. Must-go LED lighting upgrade. Just to be clear, the lights at the football field and at the multi-purpose field need to be replaced. This wasn't a thing where we wanted just to add in colorful lights. Those lights need to be replaced. Sometimes if you didn't recognize it, at our football games, there was actually a fan blowing on the box to keep the lights on. And so it was, and we had a, no, not it's okay. I laugh too.
My house.
And we had, yeah. And so,
Actual fan, not like a sports.
Yeah, an actual fan.
Like a box fan.
Yeah,
like a box fan, not a fan. of the game.
What's okay in a pole barn at your backyard might not be as good for a 6,000 person stadium.
So we wanted to update this, and as we started to research to look through this, we thought, hey, you know what? There are some really cool lights out there, and Musco was a great partner we've worked with. They have done many of the fields around us, so we've had a lot of great recommendations from different schools, and we look forward to celebrating a lot of goals, touchdowns, band competitions, a lot of different things. And I'm really excited personally when I think of October and pink out. You can turn the lights pink and it turns pink in there. So we're excited just to upgrade that and see how that makes it a little more exciting for our students. And I'm excited to see their creativity. You can do like a 4-minute music connected with the lights that they will professionally do. Everything after that, I'm sure our kids will figure out. So I'm very excited just to kind of see those upgrades. But like I said, the lights were needed to be updated no matter what. It wasn't just, hey, we want to do this. They need to be replaced. Thank you for also the high school serving line. We met yesterday to do the scope work on that. So this was kind of fresh right now. We brought it here tonight. And I want to say thanks to Rachel and her team as well. They did a lot of work to get this done. We're going to work with Radius Construction. They're going to start literally the moment the kids leave the high school, they're coming in on that day. They want to get started right away. We told them August 5th is not an option. It has to be done so we could feed kids. But we're really excited to have that done. And just, I've said it before, but just so people know, that's being paid through student nutrition. It's not our dollars here. Student nutrition is paying for that. And so facilities committee, we've had a lot of great things, a lot of great conversations, and look forward to continue to look for ways to improve our district and our facilities for our kids and families.
That's great.
Thank you, Mr. Messer. I will say the iterative process on reunification has been a robust conversation for some years now. And I know that we all fear that worst day, right? That something really difficult happens in our district, and this Raptor allows us to do that with accuracy and efficiency, which is something I know the 5 of us are really concerned to make sure that we can get an accurate head count so that we can do our job. So that's really important. And I'm excited about the field lights. I know if they strobed now, we had a problem. So if they flicker and change colors in the future, we meant to do that. If it happened before, and just the awful buzz, there's a hum, and my ears are just that. I can hear it, and it just drives me up a tree. So excited to spend some Fridays and some cold March Saturdays watching track. Even though my kid doesn't run anymore. So thank you for that. Finance committee. Cynthia, I'm sure Sean left some notes for our finance committee meeting.
Yes, I hear we talked about the 5-year forecasts.
Yeah.
Well, he calls it 5, but it's really 4 now.
Sorry. Yes, my mistake. Yes.
It's okay.
Yes, it's definitely something that we're keeping an eye on, the bottom line piece, because with all the changes in the legislation that are going on, it makes us go into deficit spending earlier, which means we're burning through the cash reserves that we made sure to build up through good stewardship. We start to burn through that sooner, and so it's definitely it very highly on our minds on a daily basis in our office, for sure.
It is, and our treasurer's department does a great job of keeping us connected to not only legislative changes, but whatever expense changes, underlying assumptions that are baked into that document, so that we can make the best decisions as quickly and timely as we can, because you don't want to get behind either legislation or your bank account. So, just grateful to Sean and the team, you, Cynthia, for making sure that we have the most accurate, timely information as it pertains to our community's tax dollars. So thank you for that. Mason Schools Foundation.
We approved a couple of grants that were actually one that was referenced tonight, the Mason Elementary Family Journey Night. We actually approved that a few months prior, but it was an incredible event and such a delight as a Mason Schools Foundation to have teachers really thoughtfully thinking about what would take that experience that happens in that specials class and really make it come alive, that families could come beside them. And those sometimes require just small things. And so as a foundation, it was an under $10,000 grant. It wasn't even near that. And yet the difference it can make. That's the kind of thing that we love doing. We also approved an MECC Trees and Trails grant. Over the years, Mason Schools Foundation has funded a lot of the courtyards and walking trails and things that are in some ways connected to our owl part. And we want to help keep maintaining those and supporting that. So that was a grant that Mrs. Bly wanted to use some of her Reading Challenge funds for, $3,500, and we were happy to comply with that. And then the other one, during the last staff journey days, some leads came to us and they wanted to bring in Jessica Matthews, who is the Michigan Teacher of the Year, and they wanted to have her talking about her experience with problem-based learning and a pathway that secondary teachers have been really excited to be a part of. So we were very thrilled to be able to quickly cut them a $3,500 check to bring her here. And so just different ways that Mason Schools Foundation is really excited to keep supporting in an above and beyond way that isn't part of our district's taxpayer dollars, but ways that really can just make a difference in a quick way. This March is a exciting time for us. That we'll have a meeting tomorrow with our nominating committee looking at our distinguished alum for this 2026. We have an incredible long group of young alum. That was a new award we did last year. Piyush Srivastava was our very first winner of the young alum. And I tell you, I looked at a lot of these names and you would appreciate, I remember many of these kids when they were students here and they have only gone on to be just do incredible, impactful things. And the same with our distinguished alum, the category. We have a lot of work ahead of us as a committee to try to narrow down a field that is top-notch. Our alum really have been going off discovering purpose and potential and giving back in meaningful ways.
Once a comment, always a comment. Grateful for that. Mr. Messer, safe and inviting.
I'm back.
Yes, you are.
So we also, Raptor was duplicated also in Safe and Wellbeing Council there. It was a great meeting, I thought, because it was a lot of learning for a lot of people, because we had Lieutenant Temple talk about all the things that they're doing with our students. And I learned a lot. Like, I didn't realize some of the things they were doing. Like, for example, he discussed, it's called a new program called Shifting Gears, which is the impact of marijuana and driving. And so they talked to the students with that. They talked about what to expect when you call 911. And I thought about it. I called 911 for the first time. I had a friend's father, and I had no idea what to expect. And so he met with the Hope Squad, and it was such a great idea that the person who started the Hope Squad is actually going to make that part of the program. And so I look at what we did here is going to impact at a national level. He talked about sextortion and how they're targeting young kids, and for parents to realize that they're targeting kids through video games, through video chats. And so, and we're not oblivious to here in Mason. It's happening. And so he talked about that. And he also talked about safety classes for the young women's group and the blue envelope program. It's for anyone who has communication troubles. So if the police come up to you, if you have a blue envelope, they know and understand, okay, they may not be ignoring me. They may just have troubles communicating. And so we had a lot of great conversations with families there about the safety and well-being. We also talked about our AEDs, and we discussed that the legislation says you have to have one AED in a building. Well, we have way more than that. We have on the outside of the buildings, the inside of the buildings. The kind of rule is it's a 3-minute. You can run and get one in 3 minutes. Now, it's not me running in 3 minutes because it would be 10 minutes. But you got to run and get one and bring it back. And so we also had Nate Wyatt show us how to use an AED and walk through that for families. And then Amy Dobson, Brennan's right here. Amy Dobson, who's my partner on this committee, talked about our LCSS screener and not just the data, but what we're doing with the data. There's a lot of times you can look at data and say, here's the data, but what are we doing to help support kids? What are we doing? What are things we're putting in place to make sure kids are getting what they need? And that's the most important piece of that. And I think it's also connected back, and it's a huge piece for what we're learning in our launch, our lift, our rise, through Portrait of a Comet. You saw it tonight as you talk to kids. And so we're seeing these pieces are put in place, and every time this goes out, it's what's next? What can we do differently? How does that look? You meet with counselors, you meet with your groups and figure out what can you do. And so kudos to Amy Dobson and her team for taking that data, breaking it down, and presenting it at that meeting as well. But it was a good meeting. There was a lot of learning, I felt like, and a lot of powerful conversations, and a lot of families said thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Messer. I think that was our last committee report, so we will move to item number 13, legislative update, and I believe that is you, Dr. Cooper.
Yes, thank you. You can hear the committee work that goes on behind the scenes. So if anybody's out there wondering what happens between meetings, 8 of 10 committees met between me. And thank you to the board, because I know you spend lots of extra time with us going through those, but thank you for our leaders for leading those through. Legislative report. There's lots of legislation moving around in Columbus. I'll highlight a couple just to keep our eyes on. Senate Bill 19, I was talking to Dr. Brennan and her team a little bit about this. Senate Bill 19 is a bill that is going to put in place, none of these are in law yet, but they're moving and they have support, but it's math intervention monitoring plans. So that's MIMP, monitoring plans. And that is, there are reading monitoring plans already in place that went into law a couple years ago, I believe. And so this would be the math portion of the reading support. We are working from our angle on just putting we're going to suggest some just thoughtful language in there that would just make that reasonable, manageable, and meaningful, I think is what we usually use. So we're going to try to help with that at the state level before Governor DeWine passes that. I think that is something that's going to go through. There's called deregulation bills. That's the informal term for them, but House Bill 455 is called the Education Flexibility or Deregulation Bill, as we refer to it often, and Senate Bill 311. Those will go together, and we will hopefully get some other language in there. We already have some language in there. If you remember, this seems like forever ago, but we were talking about there was a future-ready measure on the report card that we thought, wow, that just does not line up. And again, Dr. Brennan and her team looked at that closer and said, this doesn't line up at all. And when you looked at that measure and what it really communicated, it just was not an accurate communication. The idea behind the measure, great idea about future readiness, but just was not accurate. So we got some language in there that will change that, and hopefully some other things that we can get off the plate with that deregulation bill. Senate Bill 156 is also moving in conversation. That is the success sequence curriculum. So you can look that up and read about that, but that is something that is highly discussed right now in Columbus. And then another one that's getting a lot of support, which I don't think that'll impact us directly, but it will impact our kiddos as another option. Our kids have the option to take the ACT or SAT. This will add another assessment option out there called the CLT, which is a classic learning test. And I think it's right now, some of our homeschool folks will use that already, and so that's been used out there, and they're promoting that as another option for students to move forward on. House Bill 661 is the one that we were able to testify on. That was just about the NIL work that's going on that we mentioned earlier today. That we're basically, the main message there is where that bill is to pause that work and to allow leaders to get around that, to make sure we're being thoughtful about what NIL is and how it will impact our students, and trying to set up a safe structure so that it supports students and doesn't put students in bad positions. It doesn't take away from interscholastic sports and all the good that you saw tonight come out of with the teamwork and working together and doing the hard things together. And so that's what that bill is all about. I'm not sure if that will go forward, but it's in response to OHSAA's adoption of the new amendment. That's all.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper. He's being bashful and not letting you know that he went and testified on behalf of Mason City Schools and did an excellent job of just articulating what we believe is best for students at this time with regard to NIL. So thank you for your leadership on that, Dr. Cooper. We'll move on to item number 14, administrator commentary, and we will start with Mrs. Carson.
Well, she isn't here tonight, but you did vote to accept Christine's resignation, Christine McCormick, and I was sitting here thinking about it, thinking of her as just an exemplar of really living out the comic culture motto of better today than yesterday, better tomorrow than today. That's something she always brought to problems as not thinking of them as a problem, but really thinking of them as an opportunity. No matter what, and no matter in a harried, frantic way that I might have approached her at times with a problem, she instead would just, with such a graciousness, be just automatically in a space that brought calm, but also effective, quick, whatever it takes, problem solving to it. And I will miss her deeply, but I know because she has been so committed to that, that she has set up her teams well, that she has set up us well. I know that she really loves and admires David, as do just the teeny bit of time that we've had. And tonight it was such a pleasure to have him, and also to get to also say, affirming what we already saw in Deanna and Brandon. So just appreciate the board setting off this vision, setting the vision, casting it wide, and allowing good people to stay here and find their passion in different ways, and then to be a place that is attractive. And for the people who then move on, we know their impact is going to continue to be big, like Christine's will, impacting many, many more districts than just Mason.
Thank you, Tracy. Dr. Brennan.
Thank you. I'd just echo Tracy's comments about Christine and wishing her all the best. And I know her impact will continue to benefit us as well as many others. And we'll miss her just creative, solution finding, can do attitude. And also so excited to welcome David. I've had a chance to work with David in different roles over, go back a long time before he was principal, as I was reflecting on that. And what stands out to me is that he's just so consistent in who he is. He is always been about relationships, and I see that even not as someone who's worked closely with him, but just alongside in different capacities, and a networker. And so I'm really excited to see all of those connections as a principal. As actually Jay Reuter was, commenting on how David has really been someone who's connected middle school principals in the region in that role. And I said, well, that makes perfect sense, because I think that is just part of what he does in whatever role he is in. And so excited to see those connections that he'll continue to grow here, both within our Mason community and also beyond. And Deanna and Brandon, it was such a joy to be able to hear through the interview process their reflections on their roles and themselves as leaders. And really grateful for them and their families for stepping into the role. And in general, and as Tracy said, just to echo, you know, we're in a time where I think you'll hear from some people that people aren't wanting to step into those types of roles, that there is a real hesitancy for lots of reasons. And so I'm just so grateful to be in a place where we get the best, and the best for our staff and our students and our families. So. And we are a learning community, and I heard that come through so clearly in what Brandon shared and what Deanna shared and David. And as we think about being a learning community, we're really excited this year with a new calendar to be able to look at our professional learning time in a new way, and with our staff learning journeys. So on our student journey days, we heard a little bit about that. It was also really a new opportunity to have some sustained and personalized professional learning for all of our staff. And that was really something new here. So it was for teachers, it was for custodians and admin assistants and paraprofessionals, our treasurer's office, and having some choice and voice in what those experiences were. And so we had our last staff journey day back on February 13th. Just so close to Valentine's Day, we're feeling the love. But again, you can see a little bit of the numbers here. When I talk to people elsewhere, it's like, that's like a major conference that you're putting on, you know, multiple times a year. And it is. We had 33 different pathways, 81 presenters, and I did just want to call out a thanks to so many of those. The majority are our staff. We also brought in, over the course of the year and our 3 journey days, we had a few dozen, at least, external folks who came in to fill important roles as well. But those staff presenters also represented a range of roles. So certainly lots of our teachers who are used to stepping into those sort of teaching and learning roles. We had in the Harvard room here at that last day, 2 of our paraprofessionals who led a session for other paraprofessionals about sort of what are those key things that you need to know. And we're really, we're nervous about it and then exhilarated after it to be able to sort of have that time together and to step into that leadership role. So it's been really powerful also to see those opportunities emerge. We had over 110 sessions in February. Over the course of this school year, we've offered well over 300 different learning sessions for our staff. We have had some measures along the way to kind of see, are we on track? And they've been around, was the learning relevant? Was it applicable? Was there something that could be used that next day or that week? Is it relevant to and applicable to the role? And did it offer connections, meaningful connections with colleagues? And so you can see some of our numbers there. We are excited to get closer to surpass our goals with well over 85% of our staff reporting that learning was relevant, applicable, and led to meaningful connections. And in each of those 3 days grew a little bit. So from September to November to February. So we know, like Tracy said, we haven't arrived. We still know we see the opportunities where we can grow, we can continue to get better. We will have our momentum teams, lots of our ILTs able to kind of look at that and give feedback around what's next as we think towards next year, but really grateful for a strong start. And this reflects the efforts of so many people. So I know it's late. So I heard you, Desiree. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
I love it. This is so exciting to me, the journey days. I was talking to Dr. Cooper after our work session, and I want to know more because that is just amazing that we can pull off a conference in our school multiple times a year. I mean, that is.
And it is really due to the hard work of so many people at so many different levels. Everything from teachers getting their rooms ready because they end up being used as learning spaces. Certainly our learning experience team, our LEDs, and led by Dr. B. Miller and Mrs. Huffnagel in designing pathways that many people said they're interested in a year or two. Eric Messer and Dan Little and designing really and creating, because there are not a lot of models out there, what does this look like for classified staff? It was really thrilling to see how that grew over time. And And the list could go on and on. So just grateful for this opportunity. And the reason why we do this, so we are a learning community. We love learning. I am like, you look at my any strengths profile, learner is always on there for me. But the real reason is the impact on student learning and outcomes. And so we know the world is changing, our students are changing, we look at the technology is changing, and to have this time for teachers to come together to focus on that area that they can believe could be the most impactful for student outcomes, for our staff to come together, whether it's learning about the newest equipment that they can use as custodial staff in our buildings, our administrative assistants around technologies that can help them to be more impactful in their work to serve our students and our families. It's really a gift that we have, so grateful for this opportunity and everyone who made it happen.
Thank you for that comprehensive update, Dr. Brennan. That was important. I mean, we laugh, but to know that, to Desiree's point, we can put on a conference in our district with our district staff leading the way is amazing. So thank you for spearheading that. Dr. Brennan, or Dr. Blessing. It's late, sorry.
I want to go again.
Dr. Blessing.
Well, before I share a few slides, I wanted to congratulate the dance team. I was a dance mom years ago. She graduated from high school 10 years ago. But so exciting, so invigorating, and just a wonderful testament of our students' talent and excitement, especially the culture piece as well. And very excited and congratulations to Deanna and Brandon. It's so exciting to see them step into their permanent roles. We're excited to welcome David, but also sad to see Christine go. So we wish her well, and I personally want to thank her for all she's done for me, and we still have a partnership with her, so I'm excited about where that's going to go in the future. And then also on the slide by the numbers on Thursday, last Thursday already, we had our second annual career launch. So with the help of Mr. Messer in our departments, I know Pam was there that evening, and my HR staff, Caroline and Aaron, were able to be there, as well as all of our administrators, our supervisors, our directors. We even had our transportation coach there, our LEDs. We even had a teacher, Karen Bird, so I want to give her a shout out for helping at the last minute. And then we had a wonderful group of students from Stugo. I think we had like 20, and they were being great wayfinders and helping check in all of our potential candidates and career launch attendees. And just a quick by the numbers, we had 121 people attend, 91 screeners. So we had 20 screeners. Dr. Brennan was a screener, so thank you, along with lots of building administrators and supervisors. And so we screened 91 candidates that evening, certified candidates. So that's exciting. We had some learning sessions going on in the Dream Center, sessions on purpose, finding your purpose and potential, comic culture, and best-in-class resources. We had 18 of those sessions, so we hoped personalized learning for our candidates to learn about our culture and our best-in-class resources, and also just what it means to be an employee here at Mason. And then thank you to Dr. Cooper and Tracy for doing 3 welcome and kickoffs here in the Harvard room. So it was a group effort, and it was a success, and we're just very happy with the results. So, and on the second page, this is our screener like data. So, who's out there, who's looking for a job? A lot of pre-K through 5 candidates, some 7 through 12. We did have a large amount of special ed and interventionists, so that's exciting. Some TESOL certification candidates. And then from our classified staff, we did see, we had some school nurses, some counselors, social workers, paraprofessionals, and student nutrition staff. We didn't have any transportation bus drivers, but however, we're always hiring them. So shout out to the transportation department for doing that. And we have the middle childhood license, which is grades 4 through 9, that they can select different subject areas and get licensed in those. So a great representation. We have right now, I think 12 postings out on our website. So definitely going to be able to fill those with some of our candidates we screened and more applications coming in. So a great evening. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Blessing. I want to take a minute before we flip to Mr. Messer and say that today was supposed to be Christine McCormick's last board meeting. She's ill, and so we wish her a speedy recovery. We also wish her well. We did approve her resignation tonight, and her contributions to this district will be felt far and wide for a very, very long time. Integral player to what this district has built, just not only from a technology infrastructure, but from a caring and people first lens, which is how she did her work. So do indeed wish her the best, but I know, again, once a comment, always a comment, so she'll stay connected. And with that, we'll kick it to you, Mr. Messer.
Well, thank you, and I'll echo what everybody said about Christine, and I won't keep saying that, but what's impressive to me is we thought about this career launch last year, and I kind of helped lead that, and I'm glad Dr. Blessing helped and really took it over, because it was not as organized last year as it was this year, so thank you. But we had this idea and this dream, and it becomes a reality. You think of Journey Days, we have this big dream, and it's become a reality with Amy leading that charge. And so what impresses me is with being on the exec team now, as soon as we're done, it's kind of what you said, how do we get better? What's the next iteration? What are we going to do next time? And so it's just always thinking about what we can do to make things better. So I really appreciate that. It's always pushing in a good way. And so thank you. I want to welcome Dale Carpenter. He is now part of our new maintenance department. We had a retirement, so Dale jumped in. We had a whole week. He was going to shadow Jamie Smith, and it took 2 days, and Jamie Smith said, "You are fine. You can go." He's got a lot of knowledge. He's a Mason grad himself. He lives actually right down by Central. He said I could walk to Central office. And so welcome to Dale. I also want to say welcome to Mike Ogle. He is our second shift leader through Scioto Services, our outsourced services, but he has made a tremendous difference for our district. He's the person, if there's any issues on second shift, I give him a call, and it's always, I'll take care of it, and he does right away. And so I just want to say, welcome to Mike as well. Also, proud work dad today. When I say a proud work dad, I'm talking about Deanna Todd. We've had 4 principals in 28 years at Mason Intermediate School, just 4. And so, Deanna, welcome to the club. I can't think of a more deserving person, and I can't think of a more of a person that has grown in the time you've been here. So, congratulations, Deanna. And also, congratulations to Brandon. He stuck with it. When I hired Deanna as the assistant principal at MI, it was down to Brandon and Deanna. That's the 2 I was going back and forth with. So I'm glad that Brandon stuck with it and joined the team. But it's just a proud work dad moment for me. And I wish she was still here. I'd tell her that, but I will tell her tomorrow. She's already sent me a text. So, also, it's kind of a theme here. You've heard me say tonight. I've got a proud husband moment here. I just want to thank you to my wife and some of the high school teachers. They've created out breakout rooms for our 5th graders to participate in over the next 2 weeks. And I feel like I know every breakout room because I've gone through them at home. But it's just another great example of our staff and our kids working with the younger kids. Those kids, I say it all the time when I was the principal, they look up to the high school kids like they are like the Olympians. And so to have that interaction with those kids, it's just a great moment for those kiddos. And so we're very excited to have that. But thank you to all the teachers at the high school who are involved in that. We appreciate you working with our younger students. And also, as I talked earlier, we talked about facilities, but I also want to take a moment to say thank you to all of our bus drivers who drive our kids back and forth to all the events. Sometimes it's overnight, sometimes it's long distance, they're away from their families. And also, there are a lot of times those people are taking the tickets at a lot of those events, a lot of those games. And to our custodians and grounds crew, are keeping our facilities clean. I've certainly realized now that I'm the COO how much our buildings are used on a daily basis, and they do a tremendous job of making sure every day when our kids walk back in those doors and our staff walks back in the doors, it's ready for them. So thank you to all those people behind the scenes who are doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Messer. Cynthia, anything from the treasurer's office?
Appreciate you having me tonight.
We appreciate you showing up. You've done an amazing job. We appreciate it.
Thanks for being here, Cynthia.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Dr. Cooper, we're looking at you.
Yeah, we have, I'll be as quick as possible. I know we're late tonight. This will be our longer meeting. Thanks. I think, Danny, it's your 3rd meeting.
Poor Danny.
I don't know.
cause and effect
Can't
here.
even blame Matt tonight. He's not
Is
here.
that called a correlation or
Correlation is
causation?
not
I don't know.
I know. We
For
just
that.
we don't even have Matt here. That's
No.
right.
And maybe we should be thankful.
Pushing 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
Matt.
pushing 10. This could be a record.
Watching the 11 o'clock
We love you,
news.
Matt.
We had a lot. We had a lot to celebrate tonight, so we will get back on a rhythm. But we had too many good things to pass over. But Christine McCormick, yeah, it is her last evening. When I first came into the role of Chief Innovation Officer, is one of the first people I talked with to sit down and just say, teach me, like, how do you do this? Like, what are you doing? And thank goodness she over time said, I can't teach you. I'm just going to come over there. I'm just gonna, so she just came over and joined our team, and we're just so grateful. She's made such a big impact on our team, on our culture work, and we're going to miss her. But we're going to consult with her as much as we can when we need to at SWOCA. Brandon and his family, what a great picture they're going to look back at someday and just remember. So grateful for him. Grateful for Deanna for stepping up and her family for supporting that decision. I know both of those leaders had to really do some deep thinking about stepping in, and we're just so grateful for him. David Knapp, he came in to Chief Innovation Officer role similar time I did, so we got to grow together in that and learn together, and to see him come onto our team, it's like a dream team coming together to get to work together. It's a lot of fun. Matt, I do want to mention Sean Bevan. Yeah, I think you mentioned earlier he's at a senior night tonight. Matt Steele is at a work event tonight, and Christine's out sick. So usually we do have a few more players around the table here, but they're out doing purposeful things. Real quick, GMC. Can I just run through real quick? GMC. I won't get into details, but just know that wrestling took GMC this year.
Boys and girls.
Yep, and I'm just mentioning winter sports too. So, academic team, bowling, and swim and dive. Did I get all of them? As far as we know, I think I got all of them. And then coaches of the year, Coach Maffey, coach of the year. Joe Ristenberg, right? Ristenberg, thank you, is our bowling coach, middle school teacher, took coach of the year. And then we have 2 student athletes of the year, I think, if I got that right. It's Tepley, right, Isabel? Bella Tepley for swim, and Anna Haber just got announced for girls basketball.
Awesome.
I may have missed someone there. Catch me if I didn't, but those are a lot of celebrations in GMC. Black History Fest coming up. When is that, Tracy?
That is this Thursday.
This Thursday. Don't miss it. And then Taste of Mason.
Next Wednesday.
So come, eat, join us, dance, sing, and I do want to thank Mike, Manny, and Jerry. We thought snow was over. And the other Monday, so Sunday night, everybody goes to bed, whatever. I start seeing like weather, and then all of a sudden I realize our guys are out at 3 a.m. So Sunday night, when everybody else went to bed and woke up on Monday, our crew is out at 3 a.m. putting salt down to make sure that we could stay open. I'm so grateful. We talk about it a lot. These people, they are just amazing. We have amazing staff here. And then I'll just mention, when you have opportunities, and there will be opportunities to support families in need in our community, and as you hear about that, be generous, bless people, care for them, wrap around them when you hear those opportunities coming up, because there will be opportunities as we go through seasons of life. And I know lots of stories right now in my role. You hear all of the different things people are working through, and there are opportunities that we can support one another. So look out for one another, support one another, and care for one another. And I'll close with our ABCs. Remember what our folks said? Always be closing. That's right.
ABC is sales, man. Always be closing.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Cooper. We will start at the far to my right end. See what Mr. Galvin has for us this
Start
evening.
over here on the far right. I am so proud of our national championship dancers, and want to just commend them again. Excited for our new leaders in their new leadership roles. Looking forward to celebrating Black History Fest this week, and unfortunately we'll be traveling and out of town for Taste of Mason next week, but hopefully we'll see if my kids are out of the infirmary from all the winter illnesses. They always enjoy leading the polka march and doing the chicken dance and all the other stuff. So excited for those opportunities to connect with our community. It's also the season of Lent, and I usually try to cut something back and sacrifice a little bit during that season. And this season has been a little bit more of social media. And if you've followed me along, you've seen that I've already stumbled out of the gate because I could not help but after I've deleted the apps off my phone, reinstall them on my phone just to commend some of our great Comet kids. And in particular, I want to acknowledge, because we don't, we have so many kids that are winning conferences and districts and sectionals and regionals and every other jurisdiction that you can do, but because of the high level of achievement in our district, we typically only invite national champions and state champions to these meetings. So I did, though, want to acknowledge for a moment something rarer than a state championship is a Southwest District Boys Swimming and Diving Championship. If you go back through the record books, more teams have won the state championship in Ohio for boys swimming and diving than have won the Southwest District Championship. It's, for whatever reason, it's been harder to knock off the king in that realm over the last 6 decades than it is to win up in Canton. But for the first time since 1968, a team other than St. X this past weekend won the Southwest District title in swimming and diving, and that was our Mason Comets. And going back to 1968, you would not be able to find the girls' championship because they did not have girls swimming and diving as an OHSAA sport back then. That didn't come around until 1977. So just by sheer process of elimination, I think that makes Mason the first school district to win both the boys and the girls district meet in the same season, which is tremendous accomplishment. And I'm hoping we'll get a chance to acknowledge at least a couple of those athletes. But I also wanted to just note, because it's Black History Month in February, we had a diver in 2012 and 2013, school record diver, was back-to-back district champion in diving named Sean Sargent. He's up on our record board. This year we had a junior, Juju, I think Nkumane, maybe his last name, and I would love it if somebody went out there and proved me wrong, but I believe Juju might be the first black diver to win the boys Southwest District Championship, and I've gone back to 2000, back to 98, and that's, I think a pretty cool achievement, and just speaks to the growing, not just diversity in our district, but the growing level of success and achievement that we have. If you go back before we built a new pool in high school in 2003, the swimming tradition here was not quite what it was today, and we used to not even score a point at the district meet. We might be lucky to have one athlete qualify. So I just bring all that up because I feel like it's a little microcosm of all the things we have going on here in Comet Country, and the long-term vision, the long-term planning that has gone into so many of the things that we take for granted and enjoy now. I think a lot of people move to this district, as we talk about, as it's a destination, but it was not so long ago that this was not the big emerald city that you see here. And just so grateful for all of the leaders and all of the forethought that went into planning and sustaining all of the great opportunities and programs and things that we get to enjoy today. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Galvin. Mrs. Timmons?
Absolutely. Well, I will keep it as brief as possible and bullet point my commentary because it's real late. But I do want to once again congratulate our national championship dancers. Those kids have some grit and some dedication to a craft that is very challenging, and they do it with such grace. I want to congratulate Deanna and Brandon and David again for joining the team. I'm so excited about that and the possibilities that are coming. Wish Christine, of course, well on her next phase, knowing that she'll stay connected, but knowing that she's doing something that she's really passionate and excited about. And just before we get finished, I want to highlight a couple things that I've gotten the chance to do because I'm sitting in the seat, I think, that I wouldn't have gotten to do that were so very cool. And it started this month with a community iftar, getting ready to kick off the season of Ramadan. And it was just a night of learning and culture and community and joy and laughter. And it was so much fun to just be a part of that and be in that space and learn a little bit more. This last week, I got to judge the Black History Month floats at ME. And the creativity that those kids bring forth. I taught fourth grade for a long time. So looking at fourth grade floats brought me just whizzing back to my old place. And just, I was so impressed with the work that they do and the learning that they do through that project. And then finally, last week I also kind of fly on the wall at the career launch. I kind of sat in the back and listened and paid attention, but it was such a neat opportunity for folks to come in, learn so much about our district in a short period of time, and get prepped if they wanted to work here, to learn about us and for us to learn about them. And it was top notch, the entire event. So just very thankful for the team that put that on and the work that was done to get really top notch people here every single year. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Mrs. Timmons. We'll go to Mrs. Becci.
Thank you. Please don't mistake my brevity for lack of love or passion for the school, because it is not. Of course, the dance team. So, I mean, I've watched the video. I can't tell you how many times online. It is just amazing that that's high schoolers, performing at that level. And Deanna and Mr. Lee and Mr. Knapp. It's a great, exciting start, fresh ideas and fresh talent, and goodness, Christine is just an amazing human, truly. Like her ability to be technologically savvy, but that caring, warm heart. I mean, I think those are not things that necessarily go mutually hand in hand. And another theme I just kind of wanted to point out with the three of you this evening is you touched on data. And I think that data is so important, but data means nothing if you do nothing with it. Mm-hmm. So everything, the journey days and the career launch and just, our safety protocols and researching what's the best thing for us to keep our school safe. I love the way that you are able to collect the data in a meaningful way and apply it, and it's just ever improving everything we do and everything we touch and everything we learn and everything we teach. So I really, I don't even think you meant to focus on that, but it was definitely a reoccurring theme throughout the meeting tonight. And Cynthia, thank you for being here. Mm-hmm. I know Sean is such a data guy, and I love to see a female sitting in that role because, I'm not the greatest with numbers, but I am so impressed at what you do and how you're able to lead our school in the fiscal department. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Desiree. I'm not going to say thank you to all the people that, actually I am.
How do you not?
Right. I think when I think of the champions that we get to congratulate, I think of the hours of work they put in. I think of their parents, and I think, when they were little, is that what they wanted, right? Just an opportunity to express their passion or desire, and to have a school district that gives you those opportunities is such a gift. There are so many school districts who are, just trying to keep the lights on. Mm-hmm. And so for us to be in a position to resource a team such that they can get down to Florida to compete in something like that, but also have the time to practice and have the wherewithal to go to different competitions throughout the season. All of our winter sports athletes and the amount of hours that they put in Dr. Cooper has a vision for the district of, 100% of our students are engaged in something meaningful to them. And so you watch some of the athletic performances, whether it's Bella Tepley in the pool setting records or, plug here. I know he might not get it, but Bryson Johnson being the GMC Boys Basketball Player of the Year, heck of a year, Bryson, you played amazing. Those kinds of opportunities and the perseverance that it takes to get there, because some of those were lean years, some of those were tough times, and the character and discipline that it creates in our students, in our staff, and the families that support them is amazing. I think about the idea that talent is diffuse, but opportunity is not. And what we do here is try to give our talent that we find an opportunity. Yeah. And I think over the years, this school district has cast a broader net to find people with talent. And we will grow them, we will find them. And we want the best person for the role, and the best person for the district. If they happen to have some area of difference, all the better, because we'll be made better by the perspective that they bring to this district, and we'll be strengthened by it. And so I'm grateful for Deanna and Brandon and David saying yes. I know we are a better district because of their service and leadership, but I think the thing that struck and stuck with me tonight was the celebration of 20 years of the Black History Bowl and the celebration of Black history at MI, because you don't have to have a title to lead. And to see our staff, and big, huge, massive shout out to Nick Washington, Jocelyn Berlew, Andrea Kastner, all those who have kept that flame and kept that torch rolling. I don't know if anybody, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Black History Bowl. The energy that those students have is palpable. There's a whole gamut and gauntlet that they go through to be able to make it to the sort of center stage on that court, and to see, as someone who made some history here in Mason, to see the kids get excited about that, and recognizing the contributions of Black people, of African Americans in this country. It warms my heart. I'm a bit of a history buff, and so gratitude to John Lewis and his wife Amy Grayson, were the first Black people to buy land here in Mason in 1818. About $1,700, he bought 132 acres, and was chased out of here by 1826. But they came back, and their family lived here for over a century. And so, in order to sort of know how to get where you want to go, I think about what fortitude it took for him and his wife. Oh, and by the way, was a stop on the Underground Railroad, their home. The fortitude it took to do that and persevere through that it makes me proud and makes my service all the more clear. And so I'm grateful for all of the leaders in this district that step up and serve through the lens of who they are. And so also just want to thank Christine again for her service in this district, and hope that she continues to be a quiet presence from the perch that she's in, because once a comment, always a comment. So with that, please go to the Black History Fest. Tracy, when is it?
That is this Thursday.
Okay. And then we're going to go to Taste of Mason, which is?
Next Wednesday.
Okay, so now if you've not fallen asleep yet, I'll just take that motion to adjourn so that we can go to sleep.
So moved. Second.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's Danny Timmons' fault, if anybody asks. Danny Timmons' fault.